I'm not Jewish. This appeared strange at first. I did my telephone interview a year ago with Tehillah. I was asked when my bar mitzvah was, to which I replied, Roman Catholics tend not to have them. I have no living connections to this fascinating country. My geographically closest relatives to this place are in Denmark, and before my grandparents visited in the year 2000, my last relative to set foot in this country was in 1942, wearing an army uniform, not having much time to get to know the people who would, in 6 years, become Israelis, there being a world water fight and all that. So why did I come? One reason was adventure. I wanted to go to a foreign country and get to know its people, its culture and its way of life. Israel had the benefit of being a melting pot, many cultures in a narrow strip of the Middle East. In 1 month I've met Jews from Russia, the Levant, North Africa, Iraq. I've met Arab Christians and Arab Muslims. I've crewed an ambulance with Druze people, and I'm constantly woken up at 4:30 every morning by the mosque opposite my flat calling out the morning call to prayer. But the second reason is a little different, and perhaps a little romantic if anything. My ancestors fled Russia in 1919. They were old Polish impoverished nobles living in the Russian Empire. When the revolution followed by a civil war came, they were white guards, fighting against the likes of Lenin and Stalin. When the Red Guards came to round up and execute them in the city of Kharkov, it was a Jewish family that sheltered them as their home was ransacked, the family of my step-great-great-grandfather, Imperial Russian officer and Dr. Mark Freiman. I have no doubt in my mind that they would have died had their newfound Jewish relatives not sheltered them at the risks of their own lives. In the memoirs of my great-grandmother, she said she felt sick that in the decades to come, my family was not able to offer them the same refuge as an even greater evil swept across Europe. So I come here, 95 years after the exile began, to repay just a small part of that debt. To, as they said in the Marder website, save a life in Israel. In the short time I've been here, I've seen every walk of life, heard many stories, and I've had my opinions of this country become much more positive. I think to understand this place you have to come here yourself, and this is an opinion that I hope to bring back with me to London. I met an Israeli soldier in Jerusalem who comes from my hometown and went to a school just down the road from mine. I practiced my Russian with a man who fought in Afghanistan as a lieutenant in the Soviet army, seeing the scars where an Afghan sniper's bullet rushed through the shoulder. I was talking about friends who are in his case, and are in my case, fighting the same war, albeit under different flags. But perhaps what I found most striking were the ordinary things. People here say what they mean, seem disorganised and chaotic at times, and drive like death is just a challenge, leading to a game that I call Israeli roulette, known in other countries as crossing a road. But when faced with adversity, be it responding to an emergency call to a fire, a woman in labour, or perhaps just someone who fell ill at the side of the road, you pull together, you help each other out, you do the right thing without having to be asked. I never got called to the side of the road to treat somebody who wasn't already being helped by a passerby, or talk to a patient without being interrupted constantly by an Israeli eager to do their bit to help. I find that amazing, and it makes me forgive their horrendously dangerous driving skills. It's an attitude I wish were more present in my home country, and it's an attitude I hope to bring back. So, it's been a success. But I want to come back now. So bring on Summer 2013's Marder 88 course.